Well, Bud called me up just before Christmas, and he said, "What are you doing?" I says, "Why? I'm on a couple projects, but what's up?" He says, "What do you think about working deck world?" I said, "What are you gonna do? Make donuts?" I said, "Excuse me?"
I've been involved with other deck worlds before, and we've created electronic cookies. People don't trust electronic cookies.
So we decided instead of creating something artificial, we would actually go in and make a product. And then the challenge was then as to what to make. And we decided to make donuts.
Consumer packaged goods companies are manufacturing companies. And we wanted to show that we were able to meet their information technology needs across their entire supply chain. The manufacturing part, the distribution and logistics part, all the way through to the retail channel where the product gets to the consumer.
Process started, we would have water that was dumped into the scale that would be weighed. Our computer systems were hooked to that, kind of keeping track of how much water was falling into this bucket. When it reached a certain point, that would stop. At that point, our mix feeder would pull up to this thing and start dumping mix into it. Computer systems are also measuring how much mix is going into this. When the right recipe was in place, everything would stop and pull back. We had a manual intervention point now. We'd have to pick it up, take the bowl, put it onto a Hobart mixer. At that point, the computer would take over and mix it at a certain speed for whatever the number of seconds was required by the recipe, also being controlled by a computer system. From that point, we'd take it and put it into a hopper, which was part of the Belshaw donut maker, or donut robot. We would start cutting batter into hot shortening. And there was a certain amount of time required for them to fry. A small little piece inside, they would flip the donuts over, carry it through the shortening, and bring it up on this little conveyor belt on the other side. Taking it from there, we'd go across a vision recognition system, or just a camera was on there, and the computer would make a decision. Is this a good or a bad donut based on some physical characteristics? Color, size, is the hole big enough in the donut? If the donut was acceptable, it would continue down the line.
As an end user, you don't see the different products or the layered products that are working for you. That it really seems seamless to the end user. That all they have to do is click on a button and a screen comes up and prompts them as to what to do.
We also were able to post the cost of each donut so that we knew exactly at the end of each run what that batch cost us to make it. Many of our customers in this business were amazed because they oftentimes cannot find out exactly what it's costing them to make a product until the end of the week or even at the end of the month.
I'd never seen a donut maker before, neither had Archie. So people saying, well, you're going to have a donut robot, and you're going to take it and go on a conveyor system, take a picture. Okay, fine. We have no idea what this thing looks like. So we
called Kathy up.
They wanted us to be part of the donut line, obviously on their equipment, and we like to show off our software to the prospective people coming to Deck World to show exactly what we can do.
I mean, we had players from Digital, we had players from Ross, we had players from CSI, Champs.
From the very beginning, Digital has invested in the kinds of products that allow other companies to collaborate. And that collaboration is extremely important in today's manufacturing world. Most of our customers don't want to have to try to orchestrate all different kinds of companies to come together to solve one problem. So we do that ourselves in advance and then introduce the team to the customer.
When I was in college, I happened to have the fortune, I guess, of working with a donut robot, actually made by Belshaw. And if the batch came out great, I was lucky. If it didn't, well, you kind of made the best of it. But I never knew why.
Senior managers and many of our customers understand that the information about their business is there somewhere in the system, but their ability to access it quickly and easily and understand what's going on almost on a real-time basis generally is not there.
We knew exactly what was going on from start to finish. We knew exactly what was going on from raw ingredients all the way out to retail, because we also had the feedback from the customers on what donuts they liked.
We found that the mid-afternoon run rates out of the retail operation for donuts were equal to the morning operation, and it really surprised us. So it allowed us to reconfigure our production process so that we could meet the peak in demand in the afternoon as well as the morning.
We're finding that leading-edge consumer packaged goods companies are investing to really integrate these things together so that they get access to the data and turn it into information.
What happened to us on our first week of making donuts in Boston was our president came by and looked at our donut line and said, gee, where's the chocolate?
The day they came by and said, we don't want to make vanilla cake donuts today, we want to make chocolate today. I'm going, oh my God, we did this before. I know what problems we're going to have, but that's the demand.
The impact was significant. We had to change the recipe in terms of how long that donut stayed in the shortening and the speed at which it moved through the process line. We made a few bad batches of chocolate donuts before we got them right. But our ability to link the information of the process to the people setting up the recipes allowed us to, by midday, to be making chocolate donuts, which I guess turned out to be our highest selling donut for the whole 3 weeks.
We ended up making chocolate, vanilla, sugared vanilla, cinnamon sugared vanilla, chocolate with white powder, and cinnamon chocolate.
I actually went 2 days before I broke down and started eating them, and after that it was all downhill. I had quite a few.
Oh, I don't know. Probably 3 or 4 a day. I think I ate a lot more than that.
Cinnamon chocolate was by far the least favorite, and chocolate was by far the most favorite.
I had about 7. But he ate a lot more than that, because you know what he would do? See, at the end of the line, you'd always wind up with some very small donuts, or very thin donuts, and he would sit there, and actually you're not going to send them down the line for packaging, so he would sit there and take them off the conveyor system and eat them all. So he'd sit over there, and he'd have this big
No.
pile, and he'd just be eating them.
No,
Yeah,
not all of them.
most of them.
We went from 2 varieties to 6 varieties in 3 weeks, which is probably a little more than most people have to deal with. So we may have had a slower line, but we had faster product introductions.
We were able, by the end of the 3-week period, to produce our donuts at 3.8 cents per donut for 22,763 of them, but who's counting?
It has made the vision of what different companies can do much larger than just looking at one small segment of the business.
Almost anybody in the market today offers various networking products, but typically they're referring to the physical linking of the equipment one to another. Far fewer companies are able to really easily and effectively link applications and data together across disparate systems to allow for this true sharing across an enterprise.
It's only donuts. Well, but it could be anything, and that's what excites me. It excites me that digital with our partners could do this for anybody.
It's more than a donut, it's more than a manufacturing process line. It's really the art of putting the right people and business and technology together to solve very specific problems.
Their perception was it was a real live factory, and that we were professional donut makers. And I said to him, no, we're all volunteers from DEC. We're all DEC employees. He says, that's amazing.